Welcome back to the Flaherty Solutions podcast. My name's Kevin, and with me is Aaron Flaherty.
Hi.
Today, as always, we're going to work with you on building wealth around what matters most to you in your life. And today, we're going to kick off with a review.
Yay!
I don't have my phone on me, so can you pull it up? Because our phone is recording us.
Yeah. Oh.
And we're turning on our last podcast. So here you go.
Hold on.
And this is a very cool person. Ashley, thank you so much for leaving a 5-star review on our podcast. We appreciate that. She wrote, 5 stars, great. I listened to this podcast for the very first time last week and loved it. Thank you, Ashley. It was motivating and inspirational, interesting and informative. Being a stay-at-home mom, I really like to listen to podcasts during the day, and this hit the spot. This podcast really sparked some fire within me, just what I needed when I tuned in. I look forward to being a subscriber, and we appreciate you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I know we need a song, and we need to work on that, like an intro theme, but I was thinking of a tagline.
I'm ready.
The most
What do you got?
exhilarating podcast all week, or something like that.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
Or the most exhilarating podcast ever.
I love it. And if you want to give us your input on what our tagline should be, you can always email us at theflahertysolutionspodcast@gmail.com. We'll put those in the show notes. But we do appreciate all the love. Thank you. Please feel free to leave a review and a 5-star and click that subscribe button. Moving into our next important topic of today is, Aaron,
giving back to a charity of your choice. I wanted to highlight one that we're supporting. Flaherty Solutions just sponsored 10 children for the Shop with a Hero program. What that is, if you're local to Maryland or Kent Island, actually there's Shop with a Hero all over, but the Kent Island Optimist Club puts on a fundraiser every year called Shop with a Hero, where you donate money, any amount, but I believe $100 sponsors one child. And that one child who normally doesn't have good experiences with law enforcement or police officers, that child gets to go shopping with a police officer and pick out things with that money buys.
Yeah,
so
they're having a Christmas. They typically do not have the opportunity.
They don't have strong role models. Typically, they're not used to seeing police in a positive light. So Flaherty Solutions sponsored 10 children
Boom.
To have
That's
Christmases.
Awesome.
So if you would like to sponsor a child for Shop with a Hero, I know that they're wrapping up Friday the 15th. They want to know how many kids that they can spoil this Christmas. And I also wanted to say something else. I wanted to say we decided this year that our kids had enough stuff. They don't play with their things anymore. We noticed at the neighborhood yard sale this year that they were just selling stuff that we and Santa had paid hundreds of dollars for, and we were selling it for, $1.
Pennies on the dollar.
And it's not about that. It's just the fact they don't need stuff anymore. So we're actually vacationing for Christmas, and our kids know that the vacation, we didn't take a vacation this summer. We're vacationing this Christmas, and that is their gift from us. They know they're getting nothing else from us. The big guy might bring one thing on the cruise, but we're not actually giving our kids Christmas gifts. And they also know that we're providing 10 kids with this opportunity, and I'm very excited.
I'm excited. We love to support kids, especially that come from troubled backgrounds.
Right.
So there's nothing better. That's going to make your Christmas 100 times better if you do something like that.
And this is not sponsored by them. This is just from us.
So if you want any more information on that, please feel free to reach out to us directly, and we'll get you all set up and taken care of. All right.
We should put the link in the notes too.
We'll do that, hopefully. I'm still learning this whole podcast thing, but we'll get it out there to you. All right. As you heard on last week's podcast, Aaron had something huge coming up completely. And I knew it was going to be big, but Erin's going to run us down her Rise Conference 2019. Miss Rachel Hollis and a whole bunch of big superstars. They came, they brought it, and Erin's always at level 100. And when she came home Saturday night, it was like 1,000, and she still hasn't come off it. So we want to share with you, especially Erin, some major takeaways from that conference.
So I bought a VIP ticket because I figured go big or go home. If I want to be around people who are really killing it in their worlds and they're just making an impact in other people, I thought, let's go VIP. I never go to a business conference. Yeah. It's not really, I love business, but business conferences didn't really ever
sound boring.
Yeah, they sound boring.
Yeah.
I knew this would be exciting. I knew that there would be some people who I knew from social media, from podcasts. So I bought a VIP ticket. I waited in line. So the doors opened at 7. The event started at 9 every day. And I was at the event by 6:30. So that afforded me a front row center seat to Rachel Hollis, Dean Graziosi, Ed Milet, Brendan Burchard, Amy Porterfield, Marie Forleo.
Terry.
Trent Shelton. Trent Shelton.
Sorry, Terry. Sorry, Trent.
Trent Shelton. Front row center every single day, and you didn't get to keep your seat, so I had to do that every single day to keep.
After you worked out.
After I worked out at 5 a.m., which has been one of the best decisions ever. But I digress. So I went there, and we could talk about all day about my takeaways. I'm going to share the 3 biggest things that are going to have the most impact on anybody listening or watching. So the first, and every one of the speakers said this. Every single one of the speakers said, and these are things that sound silly and simple, but I really want you to think about it. We tell our kids this all the time. Be yourself. Be unique. Don't do what everybody else is doing. And with that, don't care about what other people think or say about you, because first of all, it's probably not true. They probably aren't thinking about you. They're worried about their own stuff. And why are we not living into our purpose? Why are we not doing the things that we want to do just because, Sally might judge me for sending Lunchables in my kids' lunch? Why am I worried about sending the organic bento box? And that maybe that's a bad example, but it's one of many. How many things are we doing to fulfill other people's expectation of us? Yeah. So that was huge. And
to carry over on that, if you haven't seen the Defiant Ones with Jimmy Iovine, who, if you grew up in the 90s listening to music or 2000, Jimmy Iovine was basically behind 7 out of every 10 songs you love. And most people have never heard of him. But in the 70s, when he was getting his start as a producer, he came back and he was devastated that he'd failed with a large band. I forget what the band was. But he came home and he was moping and he's like, I disappointed everyone. Well, at a very early age in his 20s, he realized nobody's paying attention. And to your point, he just needed to be himself. And I saw that movie, probably that documentary 2 years ago. And I've been working on that. People aren't paying attention to your success and failures as much as you think. Mm-hmm. Until you hit it to that, fill a whole conference room up stage, then they're trying to tweak you and pick you apart. But at our level right now, where we're trying to go, we got to put blinders on. Nobody can judge me.
But even still, even once you're on that stage, there were 6,000 people there, and Rachel came back to stage one time and said, you know what, she was trying to engage with people at Rise and trying to like their posts and really be a part of that. And for as many people who were inspired to be there and having the best time ever, there were people ripping her apart who weren't there, saying she's starting a cult, she doesn't know what she's doing, who is she? So even at that level, you still even more have to have your blinders on.
But exactly. And the point I was trying to make is that earlier you can train your brain, don't worry about what other people are thinking, the better off you're going to be. So do that right now, get that self-help, work on that, develop that right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right, topic 2.
That was really 1 and 2. Be yourself and don't care about other people's opinions. And the third is, all of them said it, when you're successful, most people, when they're thinking about success, they think of money. Not everybody, but a lot of people, time, money. We all need money to live. So a lot of people think, well, if I'm going to be successful, I'm going to make more money. Absolutely, money is great. It can afford you and your family more things than you had before. But every single one of those speakers really hit home that the money's not going to be enough to get you out of bed one day. And there's going to reach a point where you're just swimming in it, and the real impact of success is what you can do to impact others, to what you can do to give back to others, and your influence, the impact that you can have on people. That's the real reward of success and aiming high.
Exactly. Do you think if you made $10,000 in the next 2 weeks versus giving that $1,000 to shop with a cop? What had more impact on your
absolutely
life?
The $1,000.
And that's what drives you. And that's
right.
what drives me, is we're shifting from we need to make as much money, which that can get you in a rut. Like, okay, I'm making money. But once you start making money and you're feeling comfortable, you have to get to that next level with your own thought process. And I think that's just so important.
Even Hannah, our tween, who rips apart everything, was like, well done, mother and father.
She does rip apart everything.
She does.
You do.
She had nothing to say, though, about helping the children. She kind of nodded.
Mothers, having daughters that are in 6th and 7th grade, I pray for you. Fathers, you're allowed 2 years of being number
I hear
one.
they come back.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully they come
let
back.
them know. I hear they come back. So,
All
thoughts
right.
on that, Kevin? Any other?
No, I think that stuff we'll continue to explore in other, building money, building wealth. We definitely need to do a dedicated podcast to that because that is kind of our mission of our podcast. So we'd like to bring that to the listeners of what does it mean to us to build wealth and how can you really do that? How can you grow your nest egg or just grow rich in life? But we are talking about monetary. Like we want you to have flusher pockets.
Because you do need, it's a balance. You don't want it to be everything. You don't want money to come up above people, but you need it. And more does make you more comfortable. It does make your family's life better, and you can do more for other people with more money and more impact.
Yes. And we'll leave that for that, and we'll probably do that maybe next week.
Okay, yep. And so my one souvenir that I brought home is this necklace that I bought from the store it says "Not Sorry." And that means I'm not sorry for who I am. I'm not sorry for what I stand for and what I'm trying to build in this world.
That's awesome. I love it. It's beautiful.
So I had an epiphany.
Okay, I'm ready.
It might embarrass you a little bit.
Oh boy.
Okay. So people who know me know I don't stay long at parties.
No.
And that's because
we're in and out.
I get bored at parties.
Yeah.
Okay. So bear with me. So I thought there was something wrong with me for a long time because I'd go to a party, and parties are typically on a Saturday or Sunday. Let's not even talk about kids' birthday parties because we're not talking about that. We're talking about the parties where you're actually having adult conversation, maybe food, some cocktails, and kids are running around. The parents are having a good time. And I love catching up with my friends like, oh, yay, what are you up to? What are the kids up to? And after about 20 minutes of catching up with everybody, that's all the exciting conversation.
She's done.
I'm done.
I'm getting side eye. Like, when are we leaving?
I thought there was something wrong with me. And I realized what it is. It's that when I think about what I want to talk about, what really excites me and keeps me going is what I'm building.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
Yep.
But if I start talking about Monday through Friday, then I'm the girl talking about work. And I've been called out for talking about work at parties. And then all of a sudden, nobody wants to talk about it. So instead of me being like, no, let's talk about what we're all building, I shut down. I got to go back to the mundane conversation. And nobody else, it seems, in the parties that I've been to wants to talk about their Monday through Friday because we're not supposed to talk about work on the weekends. We're not, but it's not work. I'm not talking about spreadsheets. Yeah. I'm not even talking about bookkeeping, and that's what
You're
we do.
talking about growing empires.
I'm talking about growing empires and giving back to kids, right? And giving back to kids in need. I'm talking about employing moms with kids in school and giving them an opportunity to be there when their kids get off the bus and earn a very nice paycheck. So that's what I'm talking about. And I realized when I went to Rise, because Rise, we went to plenty of parties. Yeah. And guess what? Okay, do you remember from the 90s, the Blind Melon video with the bee girl?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when she went and she found the other bees? That's how I was at Rise VIP. Because they were all people at the...
Were you wearing the outfit?
I wasn't. I would have, though, for Rachel and for all these VIPs. I would have. I found my tribe because these were all people who get excited about what they're building Monday through Friday. So it's not that there was something wrong with me. It's that maybe I'm going to the wrong parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am. And so I found people, we're all still in touch. We're all still, I mean, it's only been a few days, but we are all after the same thing. And it excites us to grow an empire where we can provide for our family, provide for ourselves, provide for other people, give back. And so my question is, why aren't more people excited about their Monday through Friday?
That's what we're trying to drive down to.
I mean, I know, I'm gonna make money. Yeah, everybody's got to make money. Everybody's got to work. But if you're spending 8, 9, 10 hours a day at something that doesn't excite you, do you want to change that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I am excited.
I know.
At what I do.
Right. So,
but I've gotten called out.
That was my epiphany, and you got what?
Called out for talking too much shop on.
Oh, you have. I remember that story.
I love what I do, and I get excited. I get out of bed to do what I do. So that carries over. My job never ends because it's not a job. It's my career. It's my passion.
So how often do you, and I'm not trying to call you up, but how often do you buy into the culture of, I can't talk about that, so I won't?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
But if you want to keep me at a party, and if you want to keep Erin at a party, ask her how to grow business. Because then we're not going to leave. And we're going to have a good time. That's not all the time, but I'm just being a little chest. Or you can just, or how to have a job around your family, how to work from home, all these things you can do from home. We can talk about that. And I'm not saying you at a party, to keep it interesting and talk about what excites you. I mean, there could be somebody who is clinically depressed and they can't get out of bed every day. Yeah.
If they're at a party and they're like, Erin, I put my feet on the floor, I'm going to be like, yes! Because they're excited and they're striving. Everybody is at a different place, what they're striving for. Yes. It's not about how much money you make. It's not about how many employees you have, or, it's what are you striving for and what are you excited for that we can be excited for together and support each other. And
I've been contemplating this a lot lately, is excitement. We've seen a lot of things. We've been to a lot of places. We're going to Deep Creek. All right, we've been there. We've done that. They got an ice cream shop. They have a pizza parlor. We've done that. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to train my brain, to your point, is I need to be excited just about the little things again. Because you go through a mundane portion, you get in a rut, and you're not excited. God forbid somebody told me that story about getting out of bed, and I'm in that rut and I'm not excited about that.
Right.
That's that gratitude portion of writing in your journal every day about being grateful, because it makes you step back and remember to be grateful for everything.
And being grateful for not just the big things. I mean, of course, we're grateful for our families, our children, but what are we grateful for that happened just yesterday? Are we grateful for gloves that really helped our hands feel warm in the bitter cold? You know what I mean?
I do. Wow, we've covered a lot. I have another question for you though.
Yeah.
So you went to this big, amazing Rise conference. We video chatted. Thank God for technology. Every night she was able to talk to me. And what was more exciting though? Was it seeing the speakers? And since you're a VIP, we'll take getting out and meeting the speakers. But seeing the speakers or meeting the other empire builders there? Or was it a coin flip?
It was a coin flip because before the conference, Rachel said on one of her broadcasts that she doesn't want to do a live stream of it because there's a feeling in the room.
Yeah. And
there was. I'm not a big concert person. I don't go and get front row tickets to a concert. I'm just not wired that way. And this was me in the front row of Taylor Swift or whatever, but in business world, and there is a feeling in the room that we're all here for the same reason, and that's because this woman and others who are speaking have inspired us tremendously, and here we are, and oh my gosh, we're all here for the same reason. So it was the feeling in the room. Yeah. And it was the things that we were able to learn in that room and go and apply them in the real world.
That's awesome. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I already put next Rise business on our calendar for next year.
Yes.
And we're going together.
We are going together.
Yes.
I would do it to wake up and work out at 5 a.m. together.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to, but the hotel room is the hotel room, and I'm not going to fight with the other people at the gym, so I'm getting up at 5 a.m.
We are working out at 5 a.m. next November, maybe sooner.
Some of us are already working out at 5 a.m.
I got
you
up
are.
6
you
o'clock.
did.
Baby.
I was very proud of you today at 6 when you got up.
So 6 o'clock workout, gave a speech, got a referral, and it's barely 10 o'clock this morning.
What was your speech about?
Just my business, my finance business, what I do. I don't want to go into too much detail because that's, you know,
a whole other episode, and
I get regulated and all that other stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's a touchy area. I'm in finance. That's all you people. That's what you need to know. One thing I'd like to mention is for people tuning in and listening to on a podcast, we're actually recording this episode. So when she was holding up her not sorry necklace, if you like to watch video instead of listening to podcasts, we are offering that. And we might live stream. So we're gonna do a couple experiments and we're gonna get this podcast / live stream / video to where we want it to be.
I wanna go back real quick and let me know if I'm not allowed to say this, and I won't.
Sure.
So is it fair to say...
Wait, can you say that and then say I'm not allowed to say it?
Yes, because it's me. I think I can say this. Is it fair to say that you help people with their wealth goals?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. That's all I wanted to get out there. Sorry to go back.
And it's so funny because we were building up to do this podcast and I had that little voice in my head, why are you qualified? Why are you doing this? And I totally forgot, like, I've been doing this for a long time. I have a lot of experience in wealth building.
Who has imposter syndrome? Like, you're not qualified. Who are you? Who do you think you are?
Man, that little voice came in my head hard yesterday, and I was like, what is going on? Yeah. Like, why am I even thinking this? We are qualified. We can do this because we've been there. You're building this empire from scratch. I work with people that have built empires.
And everybody struggles. That's the thing. Everybody, no matter where you are, everyone had points of failure. They're going through points of failure. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. We all know what it's like to struggle and fail and come back up. We're still here.
And we're looking forward to failing in the future, because if you're not failing in the future, you're not pushing yourself enough. You have to continue to fail to get to where you want to be.
Preach.
Wow. This was awesome. I love the video aspect of it.
Oh, you were a little nervous, right?
I was, I got a fresh
But you're
cut
the one with the
just for
YouTube
this.
channel.
I do have a YouTube channel. I can promote that.
Okay. I want to tell them about your YouTube channel.
That's Comparison Cooking. Check it out. It is awesome. But we'll talk about that on our Facebook page, Mama with a Mission maybe, or our Flaherty Solutions, the Flaherty Solutions podcast.com. We are putting content out on a bunch of different ways to reach us. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever is your jam. We can communicate and help you. We're ready to help people.
Love it.
Reach out, let us know what you want, and we'll put it up. We'll get it out there to you. Any final words?
No, this was awesome.
All right. We will see you next week.
Bye.